Either way, let's get into this NBA Finals predictions, and then we'll start talking about some of these NBA rumors. Also, Quin Snyder, did you read that article?
No.
So let's talk about this real quick. Quin Snyder, according to Tim McMahon and Adrian Wojnarowski's future is unclear with the Utah Jazz, specifically due to the fact. First off, let's talk about this. He has 2 years left on his contract. Next year, he has an option. And they have already extended a new contract to him to extend him. He has not accepted it. The main reason is there's a philosophical difference between Quin Snyder and the front office. What I specifically take from that is Danny Ainge and Quin Snyder have two differing visions on what they think the direction of the franchise should be. And Quin Snyder had hip surgery right after they exited the playoffs. The rumor is he has not expressed any interest for any team, and he's going to sit out. If he does leave, he will sit out this entire NBA season and be the most sought-after coach going into the following year. And there is no timetable, or we just have no idea how long this will take to resolve itself. If he hasn't given any sort of timetable or date that they'll make a decision.
Because of the hip, or is it kind of everything?
No, it's philosophical differences between Danny Ainge
on the future.
Yeah, basically they were kind of vague, but they said the front office and Quin Snyder. So basically the coaching staff and the front office have philosophical differences, and what I think they mean by that is they have different visions on what the future should be.
Yeah, they're just not seeing eye to eye.
Yeah, I think Quin Snyder's maybe going don't trade my guys. I developed all these guys. And Danny Ainge is I think we should blow up the team. And Quin Snyder's I've literally coached these guys for 6 to 8 years now. Basically the same team. He's don't get rid of my boys. Or maybe Quin Snyder's get rid of these guys. And Danny Ainge is I don't really like making moves. I like just sitting here and looking for the best trade possible.
Yeah, I think it was the first one as well, with Quin Snyder wanting to keep the boys, but I think they're a little bit too old. I mean, Utah, can you win with Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert? I'm sure there's a way.
Mitchell, not Rudy.
But I'm sure there's a way to be better than what they are right now.
Oh yeah, you got to trade Boyan and Jordan Clarkson and Mike Conley. Yeah,
I'd trade all three of those players. I mean, I'd almost do a full clean house outside of maybe I would pick Mitchell over Gobert.
So every single just not even because of skill set or position, it's also contract. Donovan's on a way better contract. He's Rudy's going to be making $40 million at the end of that deal.
Yeah, he's making 35 right now. Jeez. So I would pretty much blow up that squad except Mitch. But who do you put around Donovan Mitchell in order to maximize him?
Keep Royce ONeil, because Royce ONeil is very reminiscent to Jay Crowder, PJ Tucker. He's a 6'6" power forward. I love those guys. People always why do you say Royce ONeil? He's a 6'6" 3-and-D power forward.
Yep.
He just does the little work. He's literally the perfect guy. He's making $7 million a year. Why would you get rid of him?
Exactly.
Rudy Gobert. Okay. I get you would trade Rudy Gobert, and if you want to stay big, you bring back Hassan Whiteside, and you go Hassan Whiteside and Udoka Azubuike. If you really just want to stay big, I doubt if they trade Rudy Gobert, they stay going big. They probably want to go reminiscent to what the Miami Heat do, and try to get one of the Morris brothers or a PJ Tucker, or just keep Royce ONeil and then go get themselves, a center along the lines of a JaVale McGee. And guys who are rim runners. And then you would probably throw around him. I mean, they have some young guys in Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Jared Butler who could make up, and Trent Forrest, who could be some depth guys. But when you think they're a starting lineup, you got to go. I mean, you got to think about defense. Danilo Gallinari is going to be in free agents. So Danilo Gallinari would be cool at power forward to stretch the floor. I'm a very big fan of four out, one in. So basically you have 2 to 3 big men that you rotate. Similar, I really like what the Washington Wizards did that year with Russell Westbrook, where they would start the game with Alex Len, play Alex Len for a quarter or so. Then they would put in Robin Lopez every time Alex Len would be a breather. And then they would save Daniel Gafford and have Daniel Gafford only play 12 minutes a night, aka play the entire fourth quarter as entire fresh legs. And they would just run like 50 pick and rolls a game and have Russell Westbrook or Bradley Beal drive and drop it off to the center, who would just do a hook shot or kick it out to a three-point shooter. That is the most basic modern day offense that I think any team, if you just copy it, get Donovan Mitchell and another ball handler, 2 to 3 big centers, and a bunch of shooters and floor spacers, just run a shit ton of pick and rolls, drive and kick, drive and drops, like little drop, like handoffs to the center, or drive and draw the foul or finish out the rack. I think that's the easiest offense you can install. Like, you literally, it's very rudimentary, but that philosophy, if you can just install that, then you can start adding motions and off-ball plays. But if you just create the pick and roll of fear, teams won't be. I just think ISO ball is terrible unless you get to the playoffs. You need players who can do ISO ball in the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure.